going back to Fab, he's one of these rappers came that mad at me to this day because I didn't get him a double XL cover. I gave you about 4 covers, man. I wanted to see if you have any memories.
I know every
of these
one.
joints,
Bro,
man.
Props.
I got props. No, more style,
this
baby.
one right here, this was shot in L.A.
Yes.
Let's see the cover.
Show the cover.
We shot this in L.A. This is a proud moment. I remember how much sweat this bandana was catching. You know what I'm saying? It was hot as hell. This jacket. It was like a sunny day too, but a nigga had on a whole coat. And I remember this day, man. And this was dope for me, man. Real dope.
I'm gonna tell you my version of it. I had a Ludacris. I was trying to do a Ludacris Chingy cover.
Yeah.
And because I had beef for Luda for some reason, so they agreed to do that. But then they said they insisted after we had the meeting to say they had to add Shauna to it. So I told them F them. And then I have no cover. Then I'm looking at all hip hop, and they're like saying Eve and Busta Rhymes signing the Aftermath. I'm like, fuck. So I make the call. I call him. Dre says yes, but he's like, you got to put my nigga The Game on the cover.
Oh, that's hard.
That's it. Wow. So I was like, and then you was G Unit, so Dre wore the G Unit shirt to please 50 at the time. That's why Dre's wearing a G Unit T-shirt on the cover.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. Nah, that's some real Dr. Dre shit, man.
It's Jay Coffee on the vid. And y'all hear that, man? We got another Game soundbite hitting the headlines. Another Game news story hitting the headlines as the Drillmatic run continues. You know what I mean? We've been highlighting on this channel the not so great promo run leading up to the project dropping. And, even after it's dropping, you see he's still doing his rounds. You know what I'm saying? No Jumper to Rap Radar where this clip comes from. He's all over the place. He's got to get them streams, them sales up. And you hear Game, reminiscing on this 2004 XXL cover, which was a big moment for the Game. You know what I mean? That's when he was leading up to the documentary dropping. You know what I mean? He got on that cover next to Dre and 50 Cent. And it's really interesting there as you heard them talking about how Dre, most definitely looked out for the Game, as, again, the documentary hadn't dropped yet. Y'all know the way the story went. Dre, Jimmy Iovine had figured out at this point in time. They had been figured out. You know what I mean? First it was, what are we going to do with the Game? He's sitting on Aftermath. Y'all know the story. At one point in time, he almost got dropped, but then they placed him with G Unit to be the fifth element, the West Coast artist, to G Unit. You had the Queens, Banks, Yayo, Fifth, of course, Buck from down south, and then Game coming from the West Coast. So Dre was still heavily, into pushing the Game. He said, okay, I'll get on the cover. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny, too, to hear that it was going to be Chingy and Luda on the cover. And then when they said, we got to get Shauna on there, he said, all right, fuck out of here. Y'all getting too complicated. But Dre jumped at the opportunity, said this is going to be a good look for the Game. You know what I mean? Trying to push his Aftermath movement. When in turn, Fifth is on there, he said, okay, we got to help push my G Unit movement. And Dre threw on that G Unit shirt. The Game, at this point in time was regularly appearing on, the G Unit mixtapes, and may have even that, I believe, at this point in time, the Certified Gangsters video was probably already out. Yeah, I believe it indeed was. Now, we know the way that it went in the future. The Game, 50 Cent's Massacre project was pushed back to drop the documentary. You know what I mean? They didn't want two artists under the same camps, albums going head to head at each other. The documentary blew up, did crazy numbers. The Massacre ended up coming out doing crazy numbers. The beef started. They tried to, at one point in time, stop the beef, but it wasn't stopping ish. And short version, Dre ended up severing ties with the Game after they figured out that there was no way they was going to stop the Game 50 Cent beef. Game ends up over there on Geffen. Fifth and G Unit is under, Aftermath, Interscope, Shady, till some years later. You know what I mean? But at this time, it was in Dre and 50's, interest to help push the Game. And, the Game sitting there looking at the magazine getting caught up in the moment, looking back. Here he is all these years later, as I've been pointing out in my videos, still having to resort to the same ish, drama, beef, and everything, to try to get them numbers up. 50 Cent, he done evolved past the rap game. It is what it is, really. But something that's really interesting about this is how aware 50 Cent was of pushing his brand, building that G-Unit name. You know what I mean? Getting Dre on that magazine cover with the G-Unit on his shirt was huge. And he recognized that. And it's just kind of is a testament to what a businessman 50 Cent is from the moment he broke into the rap game. I'ma do my ish. You know what I mean? I'm going to build up G-Unit. And hell, we even still see that G-Unit logo at the end of Power and different TV and movie projects that 50 Cent is involved in. You know what I mean? With G-Unit Films or whatever the fuck it's called. And it just kind of shows you the way Fifth and Game move so differently. Some of the mistakes that the game made. You know what I mean? Your brand, your logo, all that is very important. You know what I mean? The people recognize it, become comfortable with it, familiarity, building the stock in that name and logo and brand up, where G-Unit, even though it's not really an entity in the rap game anymore, it still has a lot of history. It still lives on, and it is what it is. As with the game, he had Black Wall Street. And, something I'll point out a lot of times, y'all, is that after the split, when he left G-Unit, yeah, he had them mixtapes or whatever, but as far as mainstream went, he never did ish with Black Wall Street or any of the artists on it. You know what I mean? He pretty much fell out with a lot of them and just didn't do nothing with it. And on top of it, he ended up abandoning the Black Wall Street name. And then it was Money Gang. Then it was going to be Rolex Records. Then it was The Firm. Then it was Blood Money. Then it was Winner's Circle. You know what I mean? Now it's Numinati. The game just can't stick with one thing. And when you really sit back and take a look at that, it just, kind of plays into the bad business decisions he makes. You know what I mean? Comment and let me know if y'all agree with that. Let me know what you guys think about this, I want to roll a clip for y'all of another situation in the rap game that this reminds me of. But something else that I just want to point out before I do that is Busta Rhymes and Eve signing with Aftermath then as well. A lot of people may not recall that was actually Eve's second time with Aftermath, as she was actually with Aftermath all the way back before Rough Riders, and she had a track on the Bulworth soundtrack. Comment, let me know if y'all flucked with the Bulworth soundtrack in the movie. A lot of dope music on that soundtrack. Of course, everyone knows Ghetto Superstar because it had a video, it got radio play, and it's a fire track, but there's a lot of bangers on there. Black Eyed Peas, way before they went pop, you know what I mean? A lot of kids forget too, Black Eyed Peas were actually on Ruthless Records under a different name, but they were there way back when Eazy-E was around. Cannabis had a dope song on Bulworth and a lot of other bangers, but I just wanted to point out that was Eve's second time around with Aftermath. And Busta Rhymes, he dropped the Big Bang or whatever while under the Aftermath umbrella, but ultimately he ended up leaving. Things really didn't work out. He left on a bad note, but him and Game, from day one, seemed to have a good relationship. I'm sure y'all heard him name drop Busta Rhymes and Eve numerous times. What'd he say? I got a squad, EVE and Busta Rhymes, yeah. But anyways, man, what I was talking about here is this clip.
Call me an asshole every day, but I don't listen to that shit because I know what's right, because my crew tells me it's right, and I respect them. How come they keep saying Def Jam all through that all through these reviews? There's no mention of Rockefeller, there's no mention of us putting together the tour. It's all Def Jam. You're telling me exactly why I don't really fuck with Def Jam. Because every time we get next to y'all, they get the credit. We own our own company and we look like artists. Bleak man. Yo, Bleak, you got a jacket over there, right? See this jacket? Shit. You see the Memphis Bleak? I didn't never have a Rockefeller coat that said Memphis Bleak. This is the only thing Def Jam got one up on. But other than that, Rockefeller is the home. Oh my God! All of a sudden, this Def Jam jackets with niggas' names on all over the tour. That shit is weak, man. You ain't been doing that. Everybody wants a jacket. You want to do something, make a motherfucker on tour jacket. We don't want this shit. No, why do I need Beanie Man and Memphis Bleak wearing a Def Jam jacket? They on Rockefeller. All of a sudden, niggas got jackets with their names on and on our tour and makes it look like a Def Jam tour. Wait a second. All right, look, you're the president of the company, right? So that means you're smart. On this tour has a Def Jam jacket on. What would be the general perception of this? When people just walking around and don't know nothing. What would it look like? About giving everybody Def Jam jackets on this tour. Why? Am I right? So don't sit there and play dumb. Now wait. If everybody. So then, knowing this, why wouldn't you be extra sensitive? Why? You're president.
You guys remember that was when Dame Dash was losing his ish during the Hard Knock Life tour, which is wild too. Speaking of branding and naming and everything like that, there was some merch and stuff you could find out there that referred to it as the Hard Knock Life Ride or Die tour. That tour was the ish, man. You know, the whole Rockefeller camp. You had Method Man, Red Man, Rough Riders were there. It was dope. But anyways, Dame's tripping. Bleak, yo, you could tell bad what Bleak was showing off that jacket with his name on it. Memph Bleak talking about, yo, Rockefeller's the team, but Def Jam definitely got one up with this one. And you see Dame screaming on Kevin Liles. Dame, another business-minded guy. You know what I mean? He recognized, like, with brand awareness and everything like that, that people are going to get the perception that it's a Def Jam tour. But it wasn't. It was the Rockefeller tour. It was the Hard Knock Life tour. It's so crazy with how business-minded Dame is, you know what I mean? That currently in today's society, climate, whatever you want to call it, he's trying to build a streaming service. And I don't know if you guys ever tapped into that whole Dash Studios or whatever, man, but it's buns. They just don't have the content there to really, you know, hold up a whole streaming platform. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. You know, the G-Unit name, Game, the Black Wall Street name, and just going back down memory lane. Let's talk about it all below. How about this clip right here, though, man? This Rick Ross, man, he been flossing all over social media. You know, everything from his dope property mansion that he's got to his farm, you know what I'm saying? Buying cows and livestock, riding his John Deere all over the place. You know, whole situation with the Wingstop franchises just getting hit recently with a bunch of fines, you know, but I don't know if we can really hold that against Rose. You know what I mean? I guess he ain't involved in the day-to-day operations, but you still, you know, at the end of the day, if you own something, you got to put the right people in charge to run it. You got to make sure they're running it correctly. You got to be checking in, you know, but it is what it is. But speaking of Wingstop, his son here, as you guys see this footage rolling, this is his son's birthday, his 17th birthday. He gave him a Wingstop franchise, but also what we're looking at here is a $1,000 steak. Y'all see that? They bring it up in the gold briefcase and everything. That's crazy. I guess it's called the Wagyu Tomahawk steak. That's crazy. $1,000. They got it on ice and everything. I wonder if they have those in the back like that, or when someone orders one, they got a guy that they call around the way that brings it over on ice, you know, because, like, I mean, maybe I'm bugging. Maybe this is a baller ass spot where people are ordering up $1,000 steaks all day. I don't know. But, man, let me know what's the most expensive steak you ever had and your thoughts about this. You know, $1,000 steak.
Right. No, he didn't know. Pop was straight. Did anybody block you from seeing Pop? Talking to him? Let me see. talking where you talking now. I know they want you to say
I didn't get a chance to talk to him. All that other stuff had to happen, but you know what? We didn't get a chance to link up after he got out. Actually, I seen him one time when he got out. We was in the House of Blues, and he hugged me like, Warren. We was hugging for a little bit, and then he hit me a few days after that, and he was telling me like, let's get in the studio. I'm gonna book some time. But a certain situation had happened right before that, to where I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go out and I ain't just getting ready to step out there, because I was at the studio before. He didn't even know nothing about what happened, pretty much. But I went to the studio. Snoop was there, Daz Corp, everybody there. So some, Suge homies came. I was like, Warren, can I holler at you? So I was like, all right, I'll be in there. So I'm still chilling. So they come out again like, Warren, can Suge want to holler at you? So I'm like, all right, I'm coming. Then Suge came in like, Warren, let me holler at you, man. Come holler. And I was like, shit. I said to myself, let me see what the fuck this nigga want. So I got up, and then I came, and I went into the room they call the Red Room. Wow. And when I came in the room, another cat, I ain't gonna say his name, he came out of a door, and he came to me and was like, Blood, you told these bitches you was gonna kill. Like saying, I'm like, I knew it was bullshit when the motherfucker said something about some bitches saying that I was trying to get at you. So I knew I didn't know why they was tripping, but they was tripping. So I'm like, nah, I ain't getting ready to get out. I don't get down like that. So they talking, whatever. So him and Suge started talking. So he came back like, Blood, you tried to, man, he snatched my chain. So I'm like, God damn. I had a Glock on me too. Oh my God. And I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to pull that motherfucker out and just start busting, but I had to think, because it was a bunch of dudes right here outside of the door, a bunch of police that was working at the same time, around that time, and so I was in a fucked up situation, so I had to think. So one of my homeboys, which is C-Style, he came through the door and he was like, what's going on? Why y'all tripping with Warren? So, and while he was talking to them like, well, there was a door right here. So I opened the door. I walked through the door in the kitchen, and I seen two cats I knew that was sitting right there. So I walked past. I looked at them like, nigga, these niggas tripping. So I get to the hallway. As soon as I got to the hallway, I'm walking fast. The motherfucker, right before I got to the door, that nigga came running. Get that nigga, Blood. Nah. And I swear to God. So I took off. Boom. I got out. I got to my car. I had a big ass.
You see, they let you brand it yourself. His son branded it, man. Hey, that's a dope birthday. A Wingstop franchise and $1,000 steak. That's living right there. Man, that ish is crazy. Warren G recalling how his relationship with Tupac got fucked up. I guess they were, cool prior to Pac going away. And, Pac wanted to link up with him and do more work in the studio. But he was like, yo, I'm good. I can't fuck with you. You over there with Death Row. You heard him, man. The Red Room. Every time you hear these tales about Death Row and little stuff we saw play out in some of the movies when they told the story, I believe in the All Eyes on Me movie, they showed the Red Room. You know what I'm saying? If you were getting pulled up in there, under false pretenses too, like, yo, let me holler at you. You was about to get plucked up. It was messed up too. Suge was sicking the dogs on cats, man. That's twisted, man. But what's crazy about all this, man, and comment and let me know if you knew about the Suge Warren G beef. But Suge later on down the road, I mean, now we know his ass is sitting up in jail, but I'm talking about what? 08, 09, somewhere around there, when that one barber knocked Suge Knight. After that, it was like a field day. Everybody was trying Suge, you know what I mean? Once that aura he had of just being this toughest godfather, invincible, untouchable, like, dude, once that whole image got deaded, everyone was going in on him, you know what I'm saying? Granted, at that point in time, you know what I mean, the Death Row dynasty had kind of fell. We're talking about during the Row era, which never lived up even close to, the original Death Row run. And speaking of that, what is Snoop gonna do with this whole death row name? You know, like, comment and let me know if y'all agree. Like, have you been, wondering what's the deal, Snoop? Like, he was talking about acquiring the rights to death row and everything like a minute ago. Like, he had all these plans, and how he was saying he would have been used it to launch a lot of up and coming artists out there in the West. And so far, he hasn't really done a damn thing, But back to what I was saying. What do you guys think, man? Was Suge nothing more than a bully, or was he doing what he had to do to make Death Row a powerhouse label? I don't know, man. Like, a lot of fucked up stories, man. A lot of twisted stories. But something even crazier about after, like I said, once Suge got dropped, everyone was trying him. Y'all ever heard this story when Akon's security put Suge to sleep? Suge actually not only called the police and pressed charges on him, he tried to extort him on it. Like, do this or that, or like pay me this much, or I won't drop the charges. That's crazy, man. That's the way it goes, man. Once your card gets pulled, your car's pulled. People don't believe you no more, right? They're like, we don't believe you. You need more people. But, man, that's a crazy story with Warren G. You know what I'm saying? Is Warren G, comment, let me know your guys' favorite tracks by him and everything. In the rap game, Warren G's always seemed like a pretty peaceful dude who was just trying to work, get money, and not really get into no flunkery. And in this situation, I don't really think he did anything to get involved in this. I think it was just, Dr. Dre being his brother, So tap in, comment, let me know what y'all think about all this. Don't forget to sub up. Stay tuned. More content coming. It's Coffee, talking music, news, sports, and more. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.